Welcome guys, I'm Ali A and I've got more Black Ops 3 news for you guys, specifically multiplayer maps and the possibility of Nuketown returning as a multiplayer map in Black Ops 3 multiplayer. Of course, all my live commentaries, all my other videos, Advanced Warfare stuff hasn't gone. It will be returning soon, but there's tons of Black Ops 3 stuff to cover and I want to make sure you guys are not missing out on anything at all. So when I was lucky enough to go and visit the Treyarch offices just before Black Ops 3 was revealed last week, I was lucky enough to play 3 unique multiplayer maps, and I'm going to go through all of those multiplayer maps, but also talk a little bit more about the philosophy behind the map design from Treyarch themselves, and then of course, as I mentioned, Nuketown and how that could be returning. So this is the first time the developer studio Treyarch has had 3 years to develop a Call of Duty game rather than 2. They've openly said this has given them more time to try out new ideas and really push the boat out and try things that they wouldn't normally be able to do in a 2-year development cycle. So in terms of adding in the new thrust, jump and movement features that I've talked about before, this is really going to change up how the map design works. I believe they said it took them around a year or so to make one multiplayer map that they felt worked well with the new thrust, jump and movement features, and from that point onwards they started developing more using the philosophy and ideas that they built up around that first map to make all of the other multiplayer maps for multiplayer. Now, having gone and played Black Ops 3 and come back to Advanced Warfare, I really realized how different the multiplayer maps are. Advanced Warfare is hugely vertical, very big jumps, everything's tall, everything's high, everything's forcing you to use your exo abilities to get around. However, in Black Ops 3, it's basically like taken a Black Ops 2 map and added in a few little additional features that maybe make you thrust jump up to a higher spot that you couldn't get to with a normal jump, or maybe wall run if you choose to take an additional route somewhere. Just throwing in little things in there. It doesn't force you to use your thrust jump or new movement features, but work really well when incorporated into the map design. Now, in Advanced Warfare, one of the new DLC maps is massively high. I believe up to 5 stories high, which is a lot of vertical action, and you'll see that a lot on Advanced Warfare. However, Treyarch, even with the thrust jump, said they're going to be sticking to 2 buildings high maximum, maybe breaking that rule very occasionally for certain buildings, but 2 buildings high is generally the maximum height you're going to be getting on the maps, with all of the action being focused within frame, meaning everything that you can see on your screen is what you're going to be able to see to locate an enemy. You don't have to look miles up in the air to check a roof or something. As long as you're looking in frame on your screen, everything should be happening in that area, so it's fast paced and you're not getting shot from random angles that you don't actually know where people are from. And it's a really good thing. They've also stuck to the 3-lane mentality, which means there's 3 routes to get from one side of the map to the other side, the left, mid and right side, and I just love that. Treyarch really smash it with maps. So let's jump into the 3 that I actually got a chance to use. So first one was Combine. This was the smallest of the 3 maps you got to play. It was a Saharan research facility. In the center of the map was a small little bridge with a blown up tank. I believe you could go underneath that little bridge as well. To the left hand side there was a wall running opportunity, and if you missed that wall run you literally just fall to your death. So if you ever spotted anyone taking that wall run, you knew that they had to continue the wall run all the way to the end and then jump off to get back on the map. There was no other options for them to go to, so often if you took that route you're actually an easy target. On the other side of the map you had a more open area that was more like a sneaky route. Again, a few wall running opportunities, but it was better just to stay on foot. And then on either side of the map where you spawn there was a building where you could get indoor cover, and the rest of the action was all happening outside. A smaller map, but nonetheless a load of fun. And when I managed to get my mothership on it, it definitely rained down and took out a lot of enemies. Next up was Stronghold. This was based in the Swiss chateau up in the Alps. This was one of the larger maps, snowy, had a huge indoor building off to the left, which not many people went to. Most of the action happened down the center of the map or off to the right within this chateau, which had again 2 layers, and you could go for a cheeky wall run actually around the side of the chateau to get onto the other side of the map. Hard to explain all of this without any visualization, but one of the larger maps, still a good amount of cover. There was a bunker on one side of the maps as well you could get in, and Stronghold was again a load of fun. And the final map was Hunted, and this was one of definitely the largest maps. It was actually the map you actually got to see right at the beginning of the reveal trailer. We actually got to see one of the specialists in action as well with a big machine gun hand. And this is based in an Ethiopian hunting lodge with waterfall. So this is where there was actually the water you could jump in, dive around and jump out of. There's also a waterfall on the other side of the map you could jump in as well. Lots of open space, a few buildings you could go inside of. But most of the action was right out in the open with long long lines of sights. So we've got a good variety of maps there, small, a medium, and I believe Hunter, they said, was one of their largest maps in the game. It didn't feel large at all either. In terms of getting one side of the map to the other, didn't take too long, didn't feel like it was taking ages. There was action happening in most areas of the map, and you know that if there's action happening in most areas, then things are going well. So that's a general overview of how the maps are going to be designed, the philosophy behind the maps in Black Ops 3, and the 3 maps that I've had a chance to look at already, and they're good, man. They seriously are good maps from what I've played. And I can't wait to play the rest of them. There's going to be a ton more on the final version of the game, I'm sure. And we'll have to see which maps we get to play within the beta. Now, finally, let's talk about Nuketown returning in Black Ops 3. So, we've obviously had Nuketown in Black Ops 1, and we've had Nuketown in Black Ops 2. It's a huge fan favourite. It makes sense for it to return in Black Ops 3, right? Well, there is actually merch available, merchandise t-shirts of Nuketown under the title Black Ops 3 Nuketown. Now, this is a t-shirt that has been available prior to Black Ops 3 in the past, so it's simply bringing the same t-shirt back again. But why bring back a Nuketown t-shirt and rebrand it Black Ops 3 if there's not going to be a Nuketown map within multiplayer? Honestly, I am very certain that some form of a Nuketown map will return. I know we've had the same map re-brought back to life for Black Ops 2, and I think it'd be fantastic to maybe get a slightly unique version of that map upgraded with wall running and additional builds to the map to fit in with the Black Ops 3 playstyle with a new thrust jump. And I'm sure you guys would love to see it return as well. Let me know down below in the comment section, would you like to see a Nuketown return for Black Ops 3 multiplayer? I'm pretty sure most of you guys would, because it's just so much fun. With a new thrust jump, kill streaks, I think it would just be an absolute blast. So there we go, guys. We have covered all of the multiplayer maps. It looks like we should be getting, hopefully, fingers crossed, a Nuketown returning to Black Ops 3. And the multiplayer maps that I have played were a load of fun. And even the biggest map in the game didn't feel big when you were playing it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. As always, subscribe for the latest Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty information. Tons more videos to come. If you missed out on any of the recent ones, check them out on screen here. Tons of stuff has been covered, including one of the biggest videos I've done so far, which is talking about specialists, which gives you special abilities and weapons to use within multiplayer. You do not want to miss out on that video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. You guys are awesome. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow with another video.